Is this enough screens for you?
I'll take it.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save
Well, gone are the days of a thermostat, $50 thermostat replacement. Most of these modern vehicles are now using what's called the coolant flow control valve. Look at where it's located.
New cars in 2025 are honestly horrible. They've got the giant touchscreens, glowing ambient lighting, the fancy self-driving modes, but underneath all that, they are falling apart faster than ever. Buttons are now being replaced with laggy haptics, software glitches that make your car freeze like an old smartphone. It's like these companies want your car to break so that you'll buy another one. Today, we're breaking down why modern cars are becoming disposable junk and why it's getting worse every year. I'll also be featuring some of your comments in today's video, so make sure to leave your thoughts down below. Super quick, guys, before we get into the video, because it's the holiday season, I'm doing a $200 cash giveaway. There will be one winner and it's completely free to enter. All you need to do is hit the link in the description of today's video. Now, subscribing doesn't increase your chances of winning, but it will keep you informed when I pick the winner at the end of the month. And if I pick you and there's no response, then I'm gonna have to give it to somebody else. Happy holidays, everybody, and good luck.
Okay, guys, I'm in my brand new Volkswagen 2025 Atlas. Watch.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Awesome. And the infotainment center, completely dead. Started doing this yesterday, finished doing it today. And I called the Volkswagen dealership. They said on the 10th or 15th call they've gotten today about this exact issue. So it is a software issue of some sort, they believe. And they don't have a fix for it yet, but just wanted to let you know that if you have this vehicle and it's happening as well, this is universal. Awesome.
You know what I like to call that sound? That's the money sound. I have an Audi. I've also owned a Volkswagen. If you heard that sound, that means something very expensive is wrong, and it's going to cost you thousands of dollars. My driver assistance thing, the adaptive cruise control on I have an Audi RS3. I went through a puddle, or it was a rainstorm, and then all of a sudden that sound went on, and it deactivated the thing, said it was out of calibration, and dealer wanted $3,000 to fix it because of a rainstorm. I barely drive the car. So to hear that sound, it irks me. I have PTSD from it. You know what's the craziest part of this video is that she said she called the dealer and the dealer was like, oh yeah, you're the 15th call today about that. So that tells me she said it was a software problem or like a firmware glitch. So it has me thinking all the cars today, the new cars, the modern cars, they have built-in like GPS and 5G, which means manufacturers now can just send out a firmware update and it updates all the cars globally, I guess, or throughout the country, which is kind of spooky because that means you pretty much have no control over your car anymore, ever. Even if you pay off your car payment, it's not yours. They can, at a click of a button, turn your car off. At a click of a button, one day, pressed the wrong button. Firmware is incorrect. All the cars don't work. You're screwed. You can't go to work. That would never happen on an older car that doesn't get firmware updates from a 5G cell signal. I really do not like all the technology we are putting in cars. Just keep it a car. Anywho, I wanted to read a couple of comments that you guys had left on previous New Car Insanity episodes. If you haven't seen those videos, highly recommend you check them out. This is part of a series. We make lots of these new cars are terrible videos, so it's a good watch. But if you guys also want to get featured in the next episode, definitely make sure to drop a comment down below. The fact that you pay $40,000 for a car made of plastic with a bunch of tablets placed in should let you know you're being scammed. Don't even get me started with the touchscreens and the tablets and all the doodads, gadgets, and gizmos that have no business being in the front of a car or in a car at all. All they are huge distractions to drivers. Every time I drive down the road, everybody's, not paying attention to what's in front of them here. Some of you guys were commenting on previous episodes and said that the main reason that these manufacturers are making the switch to it, not only because everybody wants them, which is crazy, but because it's cheaper to install a massive LCD touchscreen than to have an instrument cluster, a dashboard, the climate control, all the different buttons. Why have all that separate manufacturing when you can just plop 2, 3, 4, 7 LCD touchscreens and call it a day?
We're being actually fleeced by companies. The last 2 cars that I owned had remote start capabilities from my remote. It was something that came with the car. I never had to continue paying extra for it. We got a used Toyota Sienna this year. It's 2021. And I asked about remote start and they're like, yeah, you can do it. And I was like, great, show me how to do it from my key. And they're like, no, not that way. You're going to download our Toyota app and you're going to pay $10 a month so that you can remote start your car. No. This is the part. I love technology, and then I'm also like, this is screwing us because they are starting to be able to charge us more for things that used to just come with a car. This isn't news. It's just something that's bugging me this morning.
It is horrible. I just got a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50. It's the hybrid version. It's a fusion between a Frankenstein of the CX-50 and a Toyota RAV4 hybrid completely together. And they did the same BS where if you want to use the auto start feature, you have to download the app. You get a free trial for the first year, and then you have to inevitably pay $10 a month for some BS. I'm sure there's loopholes around it, but most people have no idea how to do it. And it's honestly ridiculous. It's really just a great way to never cut the umbilical cord and have you constantly paying for your car. Even if it's 10 years old, you'll still have to pay for it if you want that feature. I also made a video if you're in the market for new cars, because there are very few that are actually good. Highly recommend you check that video out too. Honestly, dealing with dealerships now has become such a pain in the A, but I'll save it if you guys want to see it in that episode. Why are we paying rent on products we own? Yeah. Imagine buying a toaster, and then in order to use the toaster, you have to pay a monthly subscription to brown the bread to a certain temperature, a certain color. There's no way I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I'm not even surprised at this point. I honestly, truly believe they are making these cars to make you more distracted and clueless zombies. We are now eating dinner in our cars, watching WWE Friday Night SmackDown, while the car is doing the driving itself, completely distracted and unaware of what's going on.
Hello, folks. I'm back again with some more information for y'all.
What the heck is that?
You guys see this
Thermostat?
and I'm wondering, what the heck is this? Well, gone are the days of a thermostat, $50 thermostat replacement, in and out.
Yep.
Most of these modern vehicles are now using what's called the coolant flow control valve.
What?
And what this is practically an electronically controlled thermostat. Controls where it wants coolant to go, how much. It's controlled by the ECM. These things are very prone to failing. I mean, who would guess that plastic with hot coolant will fail, but yeah. And 9 times out of 10, depending on the vehicle, they're not very fun to get to. As you can see here, this is a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder Silverado I have torn apart. Look at where it's located. Looks simple enough, but with the cylinder head and intake on, the cab on, that sucker.
You thought that was bad. You should check out my videos on why you should never buy a European car, why these cars are built to fail. They thought about all this. It's not a coincidence. They're not stupid. Coolant and plastic does not work well. It gets brittle, it breaks. They know this, but they keep putting it in these cars. And I bet you that job, if you weren't under warranty, is like $8,000. At this point, you're better off getting a new car. That's junk. A new, old, used car. The only reason I'm starting to see this is because everyone is chasing emissions and MPG. Because it does work in theory. It does get you a better MPG. It does make the car run more efficiently when it works. But that's the point here. It's in the car manufacturer's best interest, not yours. And it's only going to last, I don't know, until the warranty period is up. And then it falls apart and you're screwed because these cars are disposable. Long gone are the days now. $50 to plug in a new thermostat, hours, labor. We're talking an 8-hour job, thousands of dollars. It's utter bullshit. I'm sorry, but this stuff really gets me so riled up and pissed off with the way these new cars are being built. Got a 2010 smart fridge. Lasted 2 years. Guys, it's not just cars. It's all the new tech and the new junk and tech in places where tech shouldn't be. I also have a freezer from the 50s. It's big and ugly, but still keeps everything frozen. Touch screen refrigerators, clueless, so dumb. You don't need all the gadgets and gizmos. Same thing with the cars.
I when I was in the computer,
This is how they're porting new cars now.
I don't know if I'm good. Damn, bro. And then I did it, and it was like, but it
That's ballsy. I love the internet. We just saw people fly, like those are how new cars get transported across the country once they reach port, I think. And the internet has full circled, and we now see the drivers posting pictures of themselves flying through the trains going 40 miles an hour, and I guess crashing them too. Unreal.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. We've got millions of free child place holidays available, with 22 kilograms of baggage included.
I don't get it. You'll get in trouble, a ticket pulled over for being on your cell phone for a second. But you can be fully unconscious, knocked out, sleeping. Car will still drive you, apparently, and no problem. It's legal. The way this world is going, they are essentially, I understand maybe they had good intentions in the beginning because I guess people are becoming more distracted than ever with cell phones. Everywhere I freaking look, I live here in Florida, every single person's head is down in their phone. Every single one. I get so pissed off when I see it. Sometimes I honk, but I really try to refrain myself because it's like, do what you want at home, but don't put me in danger because of your ignorance. It's ridiculous because you can't have the discipline to be off your cell phone for, 20 minutes. It's unbelievable. Do it at a red light, whatever it is. But maybe they had good intentions to help people, protect others because of how distracted they are. Like, you're not going to fix that. You're not going to stop it. You're not going to make people not go on their cell phones. It's going to happen, and it's only getting worse, especially with each new generation. But now it seems like all the new safety features that we're going is essentially almost encouraging people to be distracted and go on their cell phones because the car's doing all the driving for the most part for you. It's not safe. Maybe it's better than most people driving, but I still think there's something so wrong with it.
I got a loaner, and I just want to say, I don't know what's happening to cars. Like, where's the Prindle? Where are the AC controls? Where are the buttons? Why does everything have to be a fucking screen?
Yep.
Why
Preach.
is there a rope here? Why? Who's done this? Why have you done this?
See, like, I'm okay with a small LCD screen, like a small, it doesn't even have to be touchscreen. I don't even like that because I don't need to be reaching over while I'm driving. But when you start adding the climate control and like essential buttons that used to be separate into the screen, that's where I draw the line. It sucks. I've used plenty of systems that were laggy, and when the thing breaks, which it all does inevitably, you lose all the other functions of the car. It's ridiculous. Where's the Prindle? Yeah, that's so true. I did hear her say Prindle. That brings back memories. I used to call it a Prindle. I don't see what the big deal is. WTF, that big ass circle. Driving a damn cell phone.
Car manufacturers trying to go green caused huge problems for owners and made their wiring attractive for rodents. So, a few years ago in like the early 2000s, car manufacturers like Toyota, Ford, and GM decided to use soybean-based insulation for car wires because it was cheaper, renewable. It wasn't, petroleum-based like they've used in the past. But little consequence to that, rats like to eat that. Yeah, rodents, mice, rats, they like to eat the wires because of that. And then that became an issue. Such a big issue that in 2016, there was a class action lawsuit against Toyota for this. They're saying, some owners were claiming it would cost them $1,500 to repair some of these Eaton wiring harnesses. And the case was actually thrown out by a judge in 2018, I believe. And the whole thing is just history. But car manufacturers basically made all of their cars delicious to rodents. Can't make this kind of stuff up. Soy-based insulation on wires. The more you know. Follow for more.
When I first heard this, I was floored. I saw an article a couple months ago, found some videos that had to include it in here. I bet half of you didn't know that. I bet most of you didn't even realize that. They switched from petroleum-based wiring, like the covers over it, to soy, which conveniently attracts rodents to eat the wiring. And it's not even the early 2000s. They still do it today on new BMWs. I think Audis too, like all Toyota, Mazda, lots of the new manufacturers. Going green is costing you money. And guess what? Your fault. Not covered under warranty. I hear it all the time. All these people, I would never buy an old car because they're hoopties and they break down and blah, 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 blah. We have a warranty. Everything's covered. Don't have to worry about it. They literally put rodent food in the wiring harnesses, the most expensive part, nearly one of them. And they don't cover it under warranty. Oh, that's your fault that it happened. There's no reason at this point to even want a new car. It really pisses me off with what they're doing.
In the city, maybe you should drive a
See, this pisses me off.
Pick up whenever you call. In the parking lot in Tucson,
and this is legal.
You guys, I'm seriously about to crash out. So we bought a Volkswagen Atlas in May. It was brand new, drove it off the lot. It doesn't even have 10,000 miles on it. We got it serviced last month. Everything was fine on it. I mean, it's been smooth sailing. But literally everything electrical in this car is out. So the radio doesn't work.
Wow.
All of my sensors are out. So here I am trying to get it serviced because every person I've talked to on the phone has been extremely rude, talking to me about, oh, it's still safe because it'll still get you from point A to point B. Sir, I paid $60,000 for this car. If it's not fully functioning, I should not be driving it.
Facts.
He's like, well, we have 30 cars in line waiting to be fixed. I said, well, can I get a rental? Oh, we don't have a rental. I'm about to crash out. So if you're looking for a sign or you're thinking about buying a Volkswagen, this is your sign. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
So I want to let you guys in on a little secret. The other day I was doing some research and I actually found a way where you can avoid a lot of issues on new and used cars, and it's by subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, subscribing to the channel is completely free. It doesn't cost a dime. No strings attached. And you will actually learn about cars and brands you should avoid completely that are most prone to having all these issues, and it could save you a lot of money down the road. So with that being said, if it's not too much to ask, give it a quick tap down below as we are getting so close to 100,000 subscribers, and then we're going to be doing a huge giveaway. My husband is a mechanic with over 25 years experience. We have two 16-year-old cars and a 2017 truck to pull our trailer. We would never buy new. We always get to hear all the crazy stories of what dealers try to talk people into for service. Yeah, 100%. I just dropped my new car off for service right now, and they were trying to peddle all different things. Oh, this, that, extra warranty, blah, 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 blah. It's like, just do the oil change. That's it. Otherwise, I'm doing it myself. And if you do get the dealer to service stuff, before you drive it off the lot, check to make sure everything is done properly. Check your oil level. Check to make sure everything is tightened, because the amount of times they screw up is unbelievable. We also get to hear all the crazy stories of what dealers try to talk people into for service. Had someone call him because they had a recall, and when the dealer did it, they told her she needed to replace the starter because the recalled part leaked oil on it. She brought it by and my husband cleaned the oil off, problem solved. Can you imagine you go in for recall work and the problem part caused something else to fail, but guess what? That thing is not covered under warranty? I've had so many stories about this. I used to drive a 2015 Audi A3, which I don't necessarily recommend unless you like putting money into it or you can work on it yourself. And I had a recall for the passenger occupancy detection system, the airbag sensor, for being faulty at times. And I was like, oh, safety recall, I should probably get that addressed. If I have a passenger, I'd like them to be safe. Had it fixed. Guess what? I never had any issues prior. Had it fixed 2 days later, lights, popping up, all this crazy stuff, brought it back to the dealer. They said, yeah, it appears that the sensor that we replaced is fine, or the wiring harness we replaced is fine, but the actual sensor is bad now. And that's your fault because that wasn't covered under their warranty and nothing we did affected that. I'm like, are you absolutely out of your mind that you are blaming me for the sensor for failing on the wiring harness attached to it that you replaced? They're like, yeah. And it's $1,700 if you want it fixed. I said, and then I think I sold the car, and 3 years later, I got another recall in the mail saying they're going to address the problem of the sensor failing. They're taking accountability. Oh, it is unbelievable.
We're about 44 minutes away from kickoff. Coming up next. Is this enough screens for you?
I'll take it.
Like, are people this clueless they don't see anything wrong with that? We have become complete, phone zombies. Completely distracted, zero impulse control, instant gratification. We can't go a second without being on the phones. Oh my gosh, everybody is glued. It's like everyone's controlled. It's like that clip from WALL-E when everybody's floating around on the chairs on the cruise ship glued to a TV screen. Like, they're completely brainwashing us, guys, right in front of your faces. You don't even see what's going on. I can only imagine, too, how expensive that stuff is to get repaired or replaced when it breaks. And it will break, I promise you. Girl math, spending $80K on a new car because I didn't want to pay for new tires and an oil change. This is who buys cars, guys. This is who makes the decisions. This is why all the stuff that doesn't belong in a car is in a car. Because this is how people shop, or they don't want to do simple maintenance stuff, so they're constantly upgrading to new cars, and they don't have any impulse control. It's people like this who are the reason we have this problem with new cars. People today only care about the interior of the car and not the reliability, practicality, dependability, ease of maintaining, affordable parts, availability of parts, aftermarket support, and just simplicity. Blame the customer. Blame the idiots. Guarantee if everyone stopped buying, these companies will be forced to make their cars better. I mean, full circle, it all does come back to us. And this is what people want. And that's why car dealerships can keep getting away with it, or the car manufacturers. It's ridiculous. People go through cars like cell phones. Every 3 years, they're getting a new car. Constantly, forever having a car payment and never, ever achieving financial, freedom because they have to keep up with the neighbors and the Kardashians. And with social media running rampant now and everyone glued to their phones, everyone is constantly comparing themselves to everyone, people they don't even know. So it's so amplified that now everyone is constantly getting new car, just to post it on social media to keep up with everyone.
So our tabs are due on our new vehicle. So we drive a 2024 Chevy Tahoe. The tabs are due in October. I've been waiting to see how much they are because I think it's going to give me an aneurysm. So I'm going to record my reaction to how much these are going to cost. Oh my God, my heart is beating so fast.
Don't buy a new car then.
Wow, $997.25.
It's hysterical now the way we are going. Everyone finances everything, and everybody thinks they can afford something only if they can afford the monthly payment that's broken down over 7 years, not if they can afford the entire thing. It's, can I afford the car payment? People don't realize, even with houses, that you have to look at the bigger picture here. Kudos to you. Congrats if you can afford the car payment. That doesn't mean you can afford the car. Congrats if you can afford the mortgage payment. That doesn't mean you can afford the house. Owning that much stuff, that large of an object or whatever it is, comes with very expensive things. Insurance is going to be a lot more expensive on a new car than a used one. Parts are going to be more expensive on a new car than a used one. I don't know. I guess registration, taxes, and all of these things people do not think about. When you over leverage yourself and buy such a large thing, you have to pay taxes on the entire car. not necessarily the little tiny payment that's broken down. So time and time again, this is why I see people go house poor, why cars are getting repossessed. Nobody can afford anything. There are 0 people in the middle class who should be purchasing new cars. Unless you're a millionaire, you have no business buying a $70,000 vehicle. Yeah, it's crazy. I have friends driving 60K, 70K cars, 50K cars, and they might only make 50K a year. I'm like, why do you think you should be owning that? To have your entire net worth in a depreciating asset is a great way to make a lot of money.
Anybody else's infotainment system on their Volkswagen not working? It's pretty annoying because my dash is lighting up like a Christmas tree right now. And I got my AC on full blast and I can't even control it. Anyways, if this is happening to anybody else, don't even bother calling the dealership. Sounds like CarNet is down from my understanding.
CarNet?
So a lot of the Golfs and the newer Mark 8s are having this issue. So if you have a Mark 8 or newer, yeah, don't call the dealership because it's a CarNet issue. It's supposed to fix itself in, I guess, like a couple days or something like that. So, yeah. Volkswagen, we need this fixed ASAP.
That's crazy. The other day, part of the internet went down, like Cloudflare or something, and nearly all the websites couldn't work, and I was freaking out because I couldn't do half my work. And now that we've integrated all this tech into nearly everything, imagine if one day you wake up and you go to your refrigerator and it's not on and all the food spoils because there was a firmware update sent to the refrigerator to update the touchscreen that you had to have for the recipes on it, and it accidentally fried the motor on it and all your food spoiled. That's essentially the world we're going in. Not everything needs to be this advanced with technology and have all these screens and all these third parties being able to connect and have firmware updates, because eventually you're not going to own anything. It's going to own you, and they're going to have full control. Some point they're going to cut off the free software, the free service. They're going to start charging you subscriptions, or companies will go out of business. They'll stop creating firmware updates, and your technology will just become obsolete. The new firmware update on your old refrigerator won't be able to handle it. So you'll be forced to get a new one. That's the way things are going. Wild thing is, screens are more than likely cheaper than a traditional cluster. Yeah, I keep hearing that, especially in today's day and age with the amount of screens being produced and being slapped on everything and anything they can think of. It probably does make sense now to have one screen than to have an instrument cluster, a climate control, all these other buttons and knobs for your volume and all these other things. It probably is more cost effective.
2 weeks ago, I got my dream mom car, so I want to talk about why we went with it, some of my favorite features, and why it makes the most sense for our family.
We put a lot of thought and research into what car would be most practical for our family. And after
Pause it before we get into it. Sorry. She put a lot of thought and did a lot of research into this. I bet there won't be a single mention of any of the components that are actually purposeful. I bet she won't mention a single thing about the reliability of this car or how things are meant to work and last. Like how easy the brake pads are to replace, how easy doing an oil change is on the car, how reliable and how long this vehicle will stay on the road for. Let's see if I'm wrong.
Looking at a few options, we decided to go with the GMC Yukon XL. It's truly been everything we were hoping for in a family SUV. It's spacious, comfortable, and built with so many features that just make sense for parents. One of my favorite features as a mom is the rear seat climate system. The air vents are overhead, which helps keep the kids cool and comfortable in their car seats. And I can control every climate zone right from the driver's seat, which is so convenient.
You know what the problem is with this? Now you have twice the amount of air conditioning stuff. You have coolant routing through the entire car. You have 2 heater cores, and I've seen countless videos of how expensive it is to fix when they fail, and they fail very frequently. Stupid.
Even lock all of the rear controls so their little hands in the back can't make any changes to the settings. Another feature that I love is that I can manage all of the child safety locks directly from the center screen. The Yukon also has a 360-degree camera system, which lets me see every angle around the vehicle. It makes parking in tight spaces so much easier, and also just gives me peace of mind when checking blind spots. For longer drives, there's the rear seat entertainment system. Both screens can be fully monitored and controlled from up front. I can see what they're watching, change it if needed, and even lock the screen so they can't make changes themselves. Storage was another big priority for me when looking for a car. car. The center console is huge.
It's
I
like
keep
a living
extra
room.
wipes, diapers, and even a first aid kit in there with room to spare. It even slides back to reveal another small compartment and extra storage up front, and allows the captain's chairs easier access to the cup holders and controls. The panoramic sunroof is another little luxury. The boys love looking at the clouds and searching for airplanes, and I love the extra light that it lets in. The captain's chairs have been a game changer for us. The boys each have their own space, so it never feels crowded, and it makes it so easy to get to the third row without having to climb over anything. And up front, it feels just as roomy. The driver and passenger seat have so much space between them, it never feels cramped. This is also my first time having a power lift gate, and I love it. Whether I'm loading a stroller or groceries, I can easily open it from inside the car or even outside. And I'm no longer juggling everything while trying to lift it manually. I know so many of these features are luxuries, and I am so grateful for how much easier and more convenient they've made life with the family. This is truly my dream mom car and the perfect fit for us.
I can't stand the whole mom car thing. All I keep thinking of is everything that is going to go wrong with that car, everything that is going to break and need replacing, and it's going to be so expensive. Every single thing is motorized. The more motors, the more problems you're going to have. It really makes me think, how did people live 10, 15, 20 years ago? We're in a comfort crisis, that this is the new standard, to be this comfortable in everything. How did you guys do it? How did you survive? God forbid you had to, mechanically lower your seat and raise it up. God forbid. How did you do it? I really want to know, because apparently we're not able to function like that in 2025. Anywho, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you like this episode, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe. And if you haven't seen my previous New Cars Are Horrible episode, definitely make sure to check it out right after this. Peace.